The Queen, Prince Charles, and the Cambridges are very distressed by Meghan Markle's claim that she felt unprotected during her pregnancy, a royal expert says. What is the claim that Meghan Markle is saying? Basically, she was saying she is throwing a hand grenade through the front doors of the palace again. She's saying that she's a pregnant woman. It's like kicking a pregnant woman. You are so terrible, royal family, Queen and Charles and William. And she was throwing a lot of shade at William recently. In the newest book, they're going to put all the blame on William. William was a cold fish, and he was really nasty to Meghan, and that's why they left. She is really going after them. Another story, this is Daily Mail. Meghan Markle felt unprotected because palace press officers couldn't defend her against true stories that angered her. She literally doesn't care if the stories are true. You know, Melissa Tuabati came back. She was a superstar advisor. And so the Queen, you know, really helping Meghan out, got Melissa Tuabati to come back because she was the best of the best of the best. And she was going to counsel Meghan. And Melissa Tuabati didn't even make it 6 months. She quit. Then the helicopter pilot quit because Meghan is having cravings because she's pregnant, and he's flying all over Tarnation to France and whatever for bonbons and doohickeys. And the man is like, you know, this is ridiculous. And he quit after 25 years. The very highly trained security lady, the Scotland Yard person, she quit right after, you know, these are all true. And Meghan doesn't care if it's true. Look at how she's dealing with her father. She wrote that letter to slam her father to make it look like, to put him on blast, that tell the whole world that it's all his fault, that he mistreated her, and then she got him. She blasted him out on People through People magazine with the 5 anonymous friends, and forced him to respond. And then the world got on his side, like, yeah. You know, he didn't do anything wrong. And then she sued the papers. She has to keep this, I'm on top, nothing is my fault. The other thing we want to cover is that Meghan's lawyers are claiming that the royal wedding generated $1 billion in tourism cash for Britain as a whole. Now, the wedding was estimated at 30 to 53 million, and others estimate this at 300 million. So either way, it's a win. But basically what happened here is that Meghan is feeling criticized for having this outrageously lavish wedding, and then within a year, she leaves the royal family. Wow. People are feeling gypped, okay? And Meghan has to play the victim cards like, no, I didn't do anything wrong. I'm not a carpetbagger. I didn't come in, take everything I possibly could, had the most lavish, outrageous dream wedding imaginable, and then leave, and flip you the bird on the way out. So I'm kind of wondering, who is the public really mad at? Are they really mad at the Queen and the palace? Because, the public is like, how could you let this happen? You have this team of, you have MI5 and MI6, and you can check anything, and why didn't you check, and how could you not anticipate this, and didn't you do a background on her, and didn't you work these things out in advance? Why didn't you get like actual agreement or something? What are you doing? Or are they really angry at Meghan, and now they look at Meghan and they're like, wow, Meghan, you are totally not the person we thought you were. You're just this twisted narcissist who just is out to take all she can get and run off, and you don't care about anybody, and you definitely don't care about the British people. So, which way is this falling? And this is a very sensitive time for the royal family. The royal family is getting attacked on all fronts. Okay, they have that photo of Kevin Spacey showing up on the throne. They have the FBI demanding interviews with unnamed Prince A. There is a storm occurring for the royal family. And just the other day, William went out to a pub and had a drink. And this is a day before the pubs open, because the pubs are all opening, okay, because of the global bug. But he's even being criticized for that. That's something where they were trying to, that's just a nice public interest story. He didn't have a beer. He had like an apple cider something, something sweet and tasty. But he went before the pubs were even open, and people are screaming that he's a hypocrite. So they can't win now. And it's just really a dog pile. Everybody's piling on now. Good day, YouTubers. Welcome back to my channel. Time for a spot of royalty. Meghan Markle, she felt unprotected during her pregnancy. So this is another victim card. She's constantly playing the victim cards. She was a victim of her father, who she was incredibly abusive to by not inviting him to her family, him to the wedding. She was very abusive to her family by not inviting them to the wedding. Here she is pregnant. This is her copycatting Kate with the green dress. But she's always claiming victim status, always. And this is another huge victim status. I was pregnant. I was a pregnant woman, and you didn't even protect me. Wow. How is the royal family, are they concerned about this latest bombshell? Because it comes in the midst of a whole lot of other trouble, and the fact that, William is getting a lot of criticism just for having a beer the day before the pubs open. That's an indication to me that public sentiment is turning away from them, because they were winning. The royal family was winning with the NHS and the global bug. They just couldn't stop winning. And Kate was getting a lot of good press. They were winning. And now the tide seems to have turned. So how concerned is the royal family with this latest, I was unprotected during my pregnancy? How concerned are they? Roadblock. What's that? How concerned is the royal family with this latest roadblock? Another obstacle in the permanent family. 25 seven hearts for their way forward. So the basis is ruler. Ruler's in charge. Ruler's got it all. Everything in control. The ruler's the general, the boss. Cross, the most solid cards are cross and 10 diamonds, so they have the most solid card, and they're completely in control. This is a problem, and they're going to deal with it. They're committed to it. So in the past, diamond ring, she was connected to the royal family, part of marriage. She married into the royal family. They're going to deal with it as cleverly as possible. And why didn't they refute true claims against Meghan? Because what does the royal family do? Never complain, never explain. They keep their mouth shut. Why? Because if you twist it around, somebody somewhere, there's leaks everywhere. Somebody somewhere is going to tell the truth, and if the truth is compelling enough, it paints you as a liar. And that's why the royal family keeps their mouth shut. And the mistake that Meghan and Harry are always making is they always tell the excuse, and then they're caught later. And what happened with unnamed Prince A is he went in front of the camera, he made a bunch of excuses, and all of his excuses were exposed immediately. All he had to do is keep his mouth shut. Never complain, never explain, keep your mouth shut. Just ride out the storm. What do we have here in the future? So they're going to deal with it very cleverly. It is a problem. They're going to deal with it very cleverly. It's not a disaster. It's just another problem. Mustard seed message and printed word. Heart, magi, man, and no. No to the man. This can be affecting Harry. I wonder how Meghan's actions are affecting Harry with his family, because she never stops attacking. It's really quite disturbing. And she'll say anything. Okay, do any of the news articles, is it really about Meghan being pregnant? No, she's playing the pregnancy card. Like, you have to take care of me. She's playing for sympathy and playing the victim. Manifesting with the man, I just find this interesting. I'm not sure why this 9 spades and no. Stop the message. A lot of male energy, direct action and manifesting in everybody's best interest. They're just going to, I think they're going to be silent. They're going to shut down this message. They're going to shut it down. They're going to shut down the message through direct action. So it's not a huge problem. It's more of just a doing business problem. This is just something that's going to come up, and this is the latest thing to come up. How is this affecting Harry's relationship with the Queen? Because Meghan is attack. She never stops attacking. It would stress a lot of people out. How is this affecting Harry's relationship with the Queen? So we'll put Harry here and the Queen over there. Harry. And the Queen. How is this affecting Harry's relationship with the Queen? Harry, player, public presentation over the long-term, finger of God, 28. 21, 28, 7 spades. They don't know how this is going to affect his image over the long term. All these outside circumstances over the long haul, the effect of this is they don't know yet. They don't know. So they're concerned. The Queen is concerned about Harry's image going forward when he leaves Meghan and comes back. You know, how difficult will it be for him to recover? Because stuff happens. You know, this is another stuff happening thing. You know, and that picture with Kevin Spacey sitting on the throne, that just happened. I don't think they anticipated that. They're like, oh crap, you know, it just happened. And you have to deal with it. What's over here with the Queen? Cut, you know, decisions about the public appearance, 10, 11, 3 clubs, taking, you know, actions and talking. She's just making decisions one by one. She's completely unfazed. Okay, so how is it affecting Harry's relationship with the Queen? It's Harry's problem. Okay, this is Harry's problem. And the Queen is not sure how it's going to affect Harry long term. He's going to need to recover from all of this. Okay, but with the Queen, it's just another thing, another decision. She's as solid as a rock, and she is looking at how does this affect public perception. So big change underneath, we have big change in the family, 6-2 diamonds. Big change in the family. Meghan is causing a tremendous amount of problems. Scapegoat, water into wine, 3 blackbirds. And because she's causing so many problems, I would think that they would want to move quickly with the separation and divorce. But if they move too quickly, it looks bad. So I think Harry is just kind of stuck for now. And he just came out with that SJW video blaming everyone in the world and not, you know, disturbing. Okay, so we have 3 blackbirds, water into wine, and scapegoat. Transforming they're taking actions to transform this situation and get them out. 16, 19, they're taking actions to get them out. Talking about and taking actions to get them out, to remove this problem. Okay, and I think ultimately they don't want to really get rid of Harry. They want to get rid of Meghan because all of the problems have come with the advent of Meghan. There's pre-Meghan and post-Meghan. All right, so they spent, it's either 30 million or 53 million. It's a lot of millions on this wedding. who are they blaming? Who does the public blame for, Meghan coming, spending outrageous amounts of money, and not to mention, the $1 million in clothes, the $500,000 baby shower, the private flights. I mean, she really just tried to spend as much money as she possibly could, as fast as she could, and then she left, and it's all public money. So who are they blaming? Who is the public blaming? Are they blaming the palace, or are they blaming Meghan? Meghan's here, so we'll put Meghan here and the palace here. Who are they really blaming for this behavior? Because people should be upset about that. I mean, they're making an investment, a lifetime investment in someone joining the royal family. You don't just say, well, it didn't work out, but at least I got all the money and now I got this kid and you're on the hook forever. That's not how it's supposed to be played. Cui bono, who benefits? Everybody's supposed to benefit. Of course Meghan benefits. She benefits the most. And yet she's always complaining. But the British people in the Commonwealth, they should benefit too by having this new, Duchess who's going to do great things. And there's got to be a lot of disappointment. Who are they blaming? Meghan or the palace for this fiasco? Meghan or the palace? Or are they blaming both? Oh dear. So whose fault is it that she did the wham bam thank you ma'am carpetbagging on the royal family and the public? Well, over here with the Queen, we have a disastrous situation, and this can be with the mother, 22-27 cross in the marriage. This marriage was a disaster. This marriage and joining was a disaster for the family. Decisions about this disaster. So it really makes the royals look bad. Like, I thought you were leaders. I thought you were leading our country, and you can't even, pick a bride for your son. You can't even pick a bride who's going to stick around for a year for your son. Okay, so it makes the royals look really bad. Like they can't make solid decisions. And that's true. It does make them look really bad. How about Meghan over here? Are they blaming Meghan? We have the butterfly, four-leaf clover, and broken chalice. Opportunistically separating very publicly, 6 2 diamonds, separating from the marriage or the family, the joining, very publicly. I think they're actually blaming Meghan less than they're blaming the royals. The royals are actually getting more blame for this disaster that, Meghan and Harry are causing. Jacob's ladder and strength going forward very strongly and putting a stop to this. The public, it's kind of like all of the turmoil in the United States. There comes a point where the public just wants it to stop. They don't care how you do it. They don't care if you bring out the army. Just make it stop. And that's what's starting to happen right now in the United States in particular. People are getting sick and tired of the lawlessness and the violence, and they don't even care what you're saying anymore. So that's how they're feeling about this. Just make it stop. Enough is enough. Just put an end to it. And they're putting the onus on the royals primarily because the royals have the worst card. They have the 10 spades. So the blame is lying squarely on the royals, and Meghan is getting a little bit of blame, but most of that blame is going to the royals. We have an article saying that Harry is tormented by his fractured family ties. Well, is he? Is he over there? This again, it's like a punch in the face to his family. And he's not saying, no, I don't believe that. And people won't believe him if he does, because I had a narcissist controlling my life for a very brief time. And wow, she did so much damage to me. And no one believed me when I said, I didn't say that. I wouldn't do that. Why would I do that? That's totally against my best interest. No one believed me. Okay, all of her words were put on me. Okay, and I didn't say any of those things. I didn't do any of those things. I wouldn't do any of those things. I didn't want to do any of those things. I was complaining the whole time, telling everybody, look, what, help me out, but it doesn't matter. And that's the situation that Harry is in. Everybody's blaming Harry. So is Harry tormented by his fractured family ties? Well, we have Angel. Is Harry tormented by conflict? We have woman, good woman, and angel. Lots of hearts showing. 23, 26, outside events. This is a big conflict, but he's coming out smelling like a rose with his family. Okay, with his family. I think with the public, he and Meghan are linked. Until they are separated and it's announced, I think they are mostly separated. And this is why he's showing as an angel to his family, because his family knows what's really going on. Harry is around. He's in the UK. He's back and forth in the UK. He's interacting personally with William and Kate and Charles and the Queen. And so they're loving him up. Okay, they're helping him out. They're sending him to rehab. They're getting him back on his feet. They're treating him like a son. Okay, and a grandson. So there's conflict, outside conflict, but he's not being scapegoated by his family. The family is not blaming him for all of it, and they're taking care of him underneath Roses and Star Bethlehem and the world. So 18, they are planning for him to go forward in a good direction in the world in the future. So they are very actively working. The royal family is not scapegoating him and blaming him. They're very actively working for his benefit in the future. He just needs to get through this conflict. So he's not tormented. The royal family is completely, they know everything going on. And so I think they're mostly not together. And Meghan is attacking so viciously because she knows this too. She knows Harry's mostly over with the family. She knows that they're taking care of him, they're watching out for him, and she is, the clock is ticking, tick, 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 and her time is short, and so she's just throwing haymakers at him, trying to knock him out before they get rid of her, before the separation is announced. And that's kind of what is happening. So let's take a look, let's review. How concerned are the royals? They're concerned a little bit, and they're going to deal with it very wisely. It's not a disaster. This just happens. They're concerned a little bit. I think they're more concerned about some other things. They're not that concerned. Harry and the Queen. This is a very interesting read. For the Queen, this is just another problem. She's rock solid. This is just another problem. She's looking at how the public is going to perceive it. It's Harry's problem. How is this going to affect Harry in the future? And that's what the Queen is looking at. The Queen is not like, oh, you're hurting me, Harry. She's worried about what's going to happen to Harry in the future. This creates problems for Harry's future and his public image. Okay, and they're just trying to get rid of this problem. I hate to say it that way, but they're just trying to get this problem. They're trying to kick out this problem to put a stop to it and get rid of it. So I would imagine that they want to announce a separation soon for that reason. Who are they really blaming? Who's the public really blaming? The palace or Meghan? The palace. The palace gets the blame because there's a whole bunch of them over there. There's MI5. There's a whole bunch of really smart people and advisors, and it's their job to make really sound decisions. We should hold our politicians accountable because they make terrible decisions. But we still expect the Queen and Charles and the monarchs to make good decisions. That's interesting because our politicians are just blown by every whim and whim and make terrible decisions that hurt everybody. And they're doing it all the time. And when someone like Trump comes along and challenges China because Obama, and I used to love Obama just like everybody else, but Obama just gave everything away to China, and China was just raping the United States. Why? And Trump finally stands up to the United States. This is in the best interest of everybody, absolutely 100 billion%.
everybody's screaming about, why are you making such good decisions? You don't have to agree with everything he does, but he's absolutely right about China. And probably he needs to be even tougher. But that's just my opinion. Okay, so is Harry tormented? No, Harry knows all about, the royal family knows all about Harry, and he's like a little baby chick under the wings of mommy. So just like the Queen is taking care of unnamed Prince A, she's taking care of Harry. Harry is being taken care of, and he's not being vilified or scapegoated for all of this stuff. And Meghan is a raging bull throwing haymakers at the royal family at this point. So that's how I see it. I'm Joseph Magi, author of Playing Card Divination, Fortune Telling, Magi Method. Find the book worldwide on Amazon and Kindle and paperback versions. Find the full color card deck used here on Etsy/Magi Method. Please many thanks to the generous folks who bought me a cup of tea. Please feel free to like, share, subscribe, comment.